I first visited a homeless shelter when I was 11 with my mother. The visits we made together left a deep and lasting impression. I met so many extraordinary people and listened to so many heartbreaking personal stories.
The royal family has seen scandals, departures, and betrayals, but nothing prepared them for this. Behind closed doors, Princess Anne delivered a message straight from King Charles himself. It wasn't just emotional, it was explosive. What the king revealed changed everything for Prince William and Prince Harry, reopening old wounds and shaking the monarchy to its core. As roles shift and power moves quietly behind palace walls, one thing is clear: the crown's future just took a shocking turn. Princess Anne and King Charles were raised just 2 years apart, shaped early by royal duty. While Charles grew into a reflective, artistic heir, Anne became known for her discipline and no-nonsense attitude. Over time, their differences created a quiet but powerful bond. Anne never sought attention, she simply did the work. Through decades of service, charity, and public duty, she became one of the monarchy's most trusted figures. When pressure mounted, Charles often turned to her for steady advice. So when the time came to deliver his final, personal message to the family, it wasn't a surprise he chose Anne. She didn't get the job because she's his sister. She earned it by being the royal family's most loyal and reliable force. When King Charles made a deeply personal decision about the monarchy's future, he needed someone who could deliver it clearly and without drama. He chose Princess Anne. She called a private meeting of senior royals. Harry returned, Meghan did not. Tensions flared. What began as a quiet gathering quickly turned emotional. At the center was Charles's final wish. It wasn't just about who takes over. It was about fixing old wounds, redefining roles, and protecting the monarchy's future. But not everyone welcomed the message. With his mother gone and his own health fading, Charles was running out of time to set things right. What shocked the family wasn't that Charles was thinking about the future. It was how he planned to shape it. Most expected Prince William to gradually take over as his father's health declined. Instead, Charles made it clear the future of the monarchy wouldn't follow tradition as closely as expected. His vision called for fewer working royals, a more modern image, and clearer boundaries between personal ties and public roles. Delivering such a message required clarity and steel, traits Anne had in abundance. While Charles is thoughtful and often emotional, Anne is blunt. She didn't sugarcoat the message. The monarchy was moving forward, and some roles would be reassessed. This moment didn't just mark a changing of the guard, it reopened old wounds, especially between William and Harry. What Charles wanted was unity. What he got was resistance, as his final wish forced the family to confront everything they had avoided. For years, tensions between Prince William and Prince Harry simmered beneath the surface. But King Charles's final wish exposed just how deep the divide had become. Bringing Harry back into the fold, even temporarily, was meant to signal a step toward unity, but it had the opposite effect. Meghan's absence didn't surprise anyone, but her decision underscored just how detached the Sussexes had become. And for William, the sight of his brother back at the palace stirred more frustration than reconciliation. Charles's wish hinted at a desire to repair the family, but William saw complications. Harry had stepped away, first geographically, then institutionally. Now, with the king's health in question and the crown inching closer to William, the idea of reintegrating his brother felt like a threat rather than a comfort. Some insiders say William doesn't trust Harry anymore. Others suggest he sees Harry's return as a possible distraction or even a liability, especially if another memoir is on the horizon. The wounds left by Spare still sting, and talk of a second book has only fueled the fire. While Charles looked for peace, William saw boundaries. And as heir to the throne, he may soon have the final say. King Charles may still be active, but behind the scenes, plans for what happens next are already in motion. His recent health issues forced the royal household to quietly dust off decades-old protocols. Starting with Operation Menai Bridge, after the famous Welsh Bridge, this carefully detailed plan outlines what will happen in the hours and days following the king's death. It mirrors Operation London Bridge, which was used when Queen Elizabeth passed. But this one is tailored specifically to Charles's legacy. First, the royal family would be informed. Then Prime Minister Rishi Sunak would be notified. A black barge notice would be placed outside Buckingham Palace, and a national mourning period would begin. Prince William would immediately become king, although the coronation would come months later. Just as Charles waited 8 months for his, the king's body would lie in state at Westminster Abbey for the public to pay their respects, maintaining the deeply symbolic traditions that reassure the nation during royal transitions. Until then, King Charles continues to perform key duties, but if his condition worsens, the Regency Act could be triggered, allowing Prince William to step in without Charles stepping down. The throne is still occupied, but the crown is already being prepared. If King Charles becomes too ill to govern, there's a legal safety net in place. The Regency Act, passed in 1937, it allows a designated royal to take over the monarch's duties temporarily, without needing the king to abdicate or pass away. That role would fall to Prince William. The process isn't automatic. To activate the Act, 3 out of 5 key figures must agree in writing. Queen Camilla, the Lord Chancellor, the Speaker of the House of Commons, the Lady Chief Justice, and the Master of the Rolls. Charles himself doesn't have to approve it. That's how seriously the law takes the stability of the monarchy. It's a rare situation, last used over 200 years ago when King George III's mental health collapsed and his son governed in his place. This isn't just about paperwork, it's about protecting the monarchy's ability to function, no matter what. While Charles continues to lead, the mechanisms for a swift handover are already quietly in place. If needed, William won't just be next in line, he'll be the one keeping the system running. With King Charles's reign nearing its end, all eyes are turning to Prince Harry. His place in the royal family has never been more uncertain. Harry walked away from senior royal duties in 2020, choosing a life in California with Meghan Markle. Since then, the couple's interviews, projects, and especially Harry's memoir, Spare, have created a chasm between them and the palace. That book peeled back layers of royal life in ways no one expected, and now, rumors of a second memoir suggest he's not done yet. Insiders believe Harry held back some of the more explosive revelations out of respect for Queen Elizabeth. But now, with Charles's health declining and William preparing to lead, that restraint may vanish. If a new book is released, it could further deepen family rifts, especially if it challenges the monarchy's public image or reignites old wounds. Harry's ties to the crown still exist by blood, but emotionally and institutionally, he's an outsider. Whether he returns, stays away, or breaks the silence again could shape not just his legacy, but the monarchy's as well. His future? Unclear. But one thing's certain, Prince Harry isn't done making headlines. As heir to the throne, Prince William has stayed silent in public, but palace insiders say his patience is wearing thin. Unlike King Charles, who took a more diplomatic approach with Harry and Meghan, William may not be as forgiving. He's known to be more decisive behind closed doors, and the moment he becomes king, everything changes. One major decision looming is the couple's use of royal titles. When Harry and Meghan stepped down, they agreed not to use his or her Royal Highness. But this was an informal agreement, not legally enforced. Charles chose to let it be. William may not he, reportedly feels betrayed, not just by the couple's exit, but by how personal family matters were made public. The Oprah interview, the docu-series, and Spare all crossed the line in his eyes. If William becomes king with those feelings still unresolved, he could strip them of their remaining titles altogether, a move that would mark a full and formal break. So far, William has followed protocol, but when he takes the throne, the decisions will be his, and based on those close to him, he may choose clarity over compromise. Though she's no longer a working royal, Meghan Markle's influence hasn't faded, it's just shifted behind the scenes. She avoids public clashes with the monarchy, but her actions speak volumes. Every appearance, every statement, even a single word in a podcast or social post is analysed for deeper meaning. And that's exactly how she wants it. Meghan is crafting a new kind of royal image, one rooted in independence, activism, and media control. In California, she and Harry are building a brand that straddles two worlds, part celebrity, part royalty. They no longer carry out official duties, but they haven't cut ties completely either. It's a balancing act, one that keeps them relevant, profitable, and still connected to royal prestige. But this tightrope walk causes friction. Small things, like using royal titles in public-facing content, spark concern inside the palace. Under Charles, these moments were tolerated. Under William, they might not be. As Harry remains emotionally tied to the crown, Meghan seems more detached, more focused on shaping the future they've chosen. And while she rarely speaks directly about the firm anymore, her silence often says more than words. In exile, Meghan isn't retreating. She's redefining the narrative on her own terms. When Spare hit shelves in early 2023, it peeled back decades of royal secrecy. And it was just the beginning. Harry admitted he had enough material for a second book, sparking speculation that he's saving more for the right moment. That moment may be now. With Queen Elizabeth gone and King Charles's health in decline, the emotional barriers that once held Harry back are falling away. Many believe he waited out of respect for his grandmother, for his father, for tradition. But as the monarchy transitions into William's hands, Harry might feel freer to speak without restraint. His relationship with his family is fractured. Communication with William is minimal, and his bond with Charles was always strained. If he feels shut out of royal affairs for good, he may see a second memoir not just as catharsis, but as closure. Critics see it as revenge. Supporters see it as truth-telling. But one thing is certain. Harry knows how to capture the world's attention. And if he's truly been holding back, his next move could be even more disruptive than the first. The monarchy may be preparing for the future, but Harry hasn't finished confronting the past. Kate Middleton didn't marry into royalty for fame. She grew into it through patience and quiet resilience. Raised in a working-class family, she entered the royal world without a title, but quickly became one of its most trusted figures. Her calm under pressure won over Queen Elizabeth, who came to rely on her in later years. Since the Queen's death, Kate has stepped up, balancing motherhood, public duties, and a growing role as future queen. Unlike others, she avoids drama and focuses on duty. That reliability has made her a pillar during turbulent times. As the monarchy evolves, Kate isn't just adapting, she's helping lead the transition. Prince William has spent his entire life preparing for a role he never chose. Now, with the crown approaching, he stands as a calm, measured figure, shaped by duty, loss, and years under the public eye. He's not flashy, but he's steady. His military service, charity work, and quiet leadership have built public trust. He's learnt when to speak, when to act, and when to simply listen. Unlike past kings, William blends tradition with relatability. He's raising his family with normal routines and values while taking on more royal responsibility with every passing year. The throne is still occupied, but the crown is already being prepared. If King Charles becomes too ill to govern, there's a legal safety net in place. The Regency Act, passed in 1937, it allows a designated royal to take over the monarch's duties temporarily, without needing the king to abdicate or pass away. That role would fall to Prince William. In California, she and Harry are building a brand that straddles two worlds, part celebrity, part royalty. They no longer carry out official duties, but they haven't cut ties completely either. It's a balancing act, one that keeps them relevant, profitable, and still connected to royal prestige. But this tightrope walk causes friction. Small things, like using royal titles in public-facing content, spark concern inside the palace. Under Charles, these moments were tolerated. Under William, they might not be. As Harry remains emotionally tied to the crown, Meghan seems more detached, more focused on shaping the future they've chosen. And while she rarely speaks directly about the firm anymore, her silence often says more than words. In exile, Meghan isn't retreating. She's redefining the narrative on her own terms. When Spare hit shelves in early 2023, it peeled back decades of royal secrecy. And it was just the beginning. Harry admitted he had enough material for a second book, sparking speculation that he's saving more for the right moment. That moment may be now. With Queen Elizabeth gone and King Charles's health in decline, the emotional barriers that once held Harry back are falling away. Many believe he waited out of respect for his grandmother, for his father, for tradition. But as the monarchy transitions into William's hands, Harry might feel freer to speak without restraint. His relationship with his family is fractured. Communication with William is minimal, and his bond with Charles was always strained. If he feels shut out of royal affairs for good, he may see a second memoir not just as catharsis, but as closure. Critics see it as revenge. Supporters see it as truth-telling. But one thing is certain. With Kate at his side and the weight of the monarchy on his shoulders, William isn't just next in line. He's prepared to lead and to define what royalty looks like for a new generation. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please like and subscribe to the channel for more updates like this.